Morning, Amanda.
Morning, how are you, lovely?
I'm very well, thank you. I will get used to this technical stuff. Kate's so much better at it than I am. I think I probably just flashed up my Facebook page to everybody as well. Nothing disturbing
I
on there.
don't think there was anything we saw, to be fair. They were gutted down.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday, everybody. Yeah.
It seems like
What a
2
week.
seconds since the last one, doesn't it? It's just gone like that.
It has, hasn't it?
Yeah, what a week. What a week. Bit of a roller coaster of a week again for everybody in the industry, I think.
Not knowing again.
So we're in tier 3, actually. I don't know about you. Well, I'm up in Leeds, in case everybody realised.
Well, I'm in Gloucestershire. We're tier 2. So what's tier 3 mean for you then? Does that you're not out of lockdown, are you?
Well, it feels like it's exactly the same, or it will be exactly the same. In fact, I think some things are a little bit stricter, but sadly, it does mean that kind of most of the hotels and all of the restaurants and bars and everything that I work with around here are sadly shut. So it's just horrible to see, especially coming into the kind of busy Christmas period. Yeah. I think it's a bit better in tier 2, isn't it?
It's a little bit better. Yes, we can go to the pub. We can't go for a country walk and then go and find a nice country pub and go in and have a glass of wine or a pint. You've got to have a meal.
You have to pretend to eat, Amanda.
You have to, yeah, you have to. Which is weird. I just want the drink. No, but seriously, you have to, so, and more often than not, then you have to book. So all of anything that was ad hoc, that you go on. It's a lovely Sunday afternoon. Let's do a nice walk and then stop off at the local. You can't do anymore.
Goes out the window a little bit, doesn't it?
But it is a little bit. But
morning, Judith. Morning. How are you? I know you're in tier 3 as well, my love. It's so tough, isn't it, for hospitality? She's just saying her heart is bleeding too for hospitality, travel and tourism.
Awful.
I know we've got to kind of try and remain positive, but I think we all have those days where we're just like floored again, aren't we? I think it's only natural.
It's not knowing, isn't it? It's and I really feel for those businesses that are struggling to actually work out. I struggle. I don't know about you. Reading between the lines of what you can and can't do, and from a business point of view, that must be really difficult.
And if it's hard from a business point of view, and therefore to get that communication across, can you imagine what it's like for the customers? There's no wonder that nobody's kind of like booking things because they think that they can't, because they don't understand whether they can or they can't. So I completely agree. Morning, Kate.
Morning, Kate.
You all right, lovey? So today we are quite sort of poignantly, really, very relevant. We're going to be talking about rebuilding your confidence after lockdown. Now, we appreciate, because of the tiers, this might be very different for everybody that's listening, depending on where you are. So some of you, it might be virtually the same. So it might be more about sort of rebuilding your personal confidence in your situation that's kind of outside of work. Or if you're really lucky, I don't know if we've got Lynette on this morning, and I know Lynette's really excited about going back to work next week. If you're really lucky, then hopefully you might be able to go back a little bit, even if it's part-time and flexi at the moment. So we kind of got together, the 4 of us, didn't we? And we put together some top tips. So we've each kind of come up with some top tips to help, we hope, will help you to think about rebuilding your confidence after lockdown. So we're going to go through those. I think Kate and Fem have probably come at it from more of a personal angle, and then myself and you came at it more of a, if you're returning to work, which is great because it means we've hopefully got most areas.
Of it all areas. Yeah. I mean, we're not experts in this, are we? It's just literally what we wanted to do is just brainstorm some ideas, sort of put our thoughts together, and just and if we can get someone come away with something, then that's great, isn't it? So I think we have to say we don't profess to be the experts.
No, maybe not on the personal side of things, but obviously we've got the experience when it comes to the kind of work kind of things. We've all worked in offices and managed teams, so we've got that kind of experience that we can draw on, haven't we?
So let's talk about sort of the personal element of it. So because I know Kate come up with I think Kate came up with some really good ideas.
Yeah, I think her and Fem actually had a similar one, which is brilliant. I think Kate had said, surround yourself with support and loving people and peers. well, I can profess to that, because obviously we all have each other, which is brilliant. We're having that support, someone to bounce stuff off if we're having a bad day or a good day, or if we do need a confidence boost, we can rely on each other, can't we, to kind of help give us that.
And we all have a little bit of a down, and we go, oh, I'm not sure whether this is right or what or whatever. And I think it's sometimes we forget we have got our peers around us, and you can actually ask the question and go, oh, I'm doing something, is this correct, or I'm having a really bad day, and just talking it through. And sometimes we forget that, don't we? We
do.
It's hard, and
they're probably going through exactly the same crisis of confidence that you are, and just knowing that somebody else is feeling the same way often, I think, is the first step to sort of starting to feel a bit better. Knowing definitely. Somebody else can empathise and understand, it makes you feel that you're not going a bit mad. You know, you are entitled to feel like this as well. So.
And don't be bad, and don't be negative on yourself if you are feeling down. There's no harm in that at all. It's not showing a weakness. It's just showing you're alive and you're full of feeling, and you can have.
Yeah, I think
be negative and wake up one day and have this cloud over you. So yeah,
I think that Kate's point, and like I say, Fen made the same point, is so valid. It's like, surround yourself with the right people. You know, try not to surround yourself with the negative nannies. You know, try and be, even though we are all in the same boat and we can talk about it, you know, there are some people that might drag you down a little bit. So surrounding yourself with the right friends, with the right peers, with the right industry people. You know, there's other people that I chat to on a regular basis as well, on LinkedIn, etc., that aren't necessarily obviously in our little Selling Savvy team. And they always cheer me up as well. Judith, you're one of them. You always cheer me up. When we were chatting on email yesterday and this morning, your kind of positiveness shines through, and that always G's me up as well.
That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a really nice thing to, it's a quite simple thing to be able to do.
It's so simple, and it doesn't cost anything. It's just so nice. I mean, I've had a client that calls me every other week, sort of thing, and she can be quite down, and I'll say, you know, think about it, let's look at the positive, and the thing is, it's nice because then you feel really nice, don't you? It's that whole giving, and you know, it's about making them feel better, and they'll all say afterwards, oh, you do. So that's
works. True. It helps your confidence as well, doesn't it? Because you feel like you have actually done something of value as well. Morning, Edwin, how are you? Not seen you for a while. Edwin. Hope you're okay there in Birmingham. I think you're in tier 3 there as well, aren't you? So I hope you're keeping well and trying to remain positive. Edwin would be a great person to have around you as well. He made us smile, didn't he, all the time when we were doing our
the thing is that absolutely, Edwin, once the minute you put a camera in front of anybody, immediately you smile anyway. So there you go. All he needs to do is walk around with his camera, and then we're all smiling.
And also he's a charmer, because he's saying, has someone been to the hair salon? Your hair do both look fab.
Oh, thank you,
Edwin. Always
I get you everywhere, Edwin. Thank you for that. I'll take that.
Judith, totally, as a one-woman band, I felt like the only person on the planet at some points this year. I know what you mean, Judith. Yeah. Some of the people on LinkedIn, like you guys, really help to give Flagging Confidence a boost. Oh, thank you.
Oh, thanks, Judith. We're always here for you. Just whenever, pop something down.
We love a good natter as well. So anytime.
Once we start, we can't stop, Judith.
As you can tell, yeah. I think one of the other things that Kate said, and I have to admit, I'm bad at doing this. So I think it's a really good one when it comes to your confidence, is don't compare yourselves to others and other businesses. I am so bad at doing this, and I have to sort of like wrap myself on the knuckles quite a lot. I try not to, but I think social media is bad for this. I mean, I know I do and advocate social media, but I think sometimes it can be a bad thing for confidence, because we look at things, look at situations, and actually we presume some of the time that they are doing better than us, that they're happier than us. And I can tell you now that that's not necessarily the case. I never forget, we went on a holiday to Devon, I think it was. No, it wasn't. It was Suffolk. And I put some holiday snaps on afterwards, and everyone kept saying, "Oh, you look like you had an amazing time. It was brilliant, wasn't it?" And no, Eloise was sick for 7 days, and it was actually awful. So, but everyone might have thought, "Oh, look at them. They've been on holiday. What a lovely family. They're like all like, you know, happy and whatever." And actually, it was awful.
Oh, really? But you're right. You're absolutely right. It's funny how but that's what people's perceptions are of what they look at social media. So, I do the same. I'll be honest. I look at social media, I look at LinkedIn, I look at people doing various LinkedIn posts, and I'm like, oh my word, why didn't I think about something like that?
Why are they so busy as well? And we're not. But you are. It's just that you're expecting them to be even more busy when actually they might not even be busy.
No. Yeah. And Kate's right. We have to. Sometimes you have to step away and go, actually, no. You know, I don't know about your thoughts about actually stepping away from social media platforms for sort of an evening. I know Fem's really good at it, doesn't she?
I have started. I go through phases where I'm very, very good, and then I'm not so good, and then I realise I'm not good again, and I try again. And I used to always turn off my phone, actually, put it on airplane mode at 8 o'clock on a night, but I got back into a bad habit of that. But I am trying really hard now to only check my socials a couple of times a day. And to not to worry too much about those things that might knock your confidence. Just take them with a pinch of salt.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Something else that Kate said is allow yourself to understand that you can't do everything, which is again so true. I am also bad at putting pressure on myself and thinking, why haven't I done that blog? Why haven't I done a post on LinkedIn today? I must be awful. You know, I'm not very good at my job, and confidence goes like that. And actually, the world's not going to end, and
it's not.
If you don't do that one thing.
It's about turning off that negative chatter in your head.
Mind monkeys, somebody calls them.
Mind monkeys. Okay. Yeah. And I went on a coaching session, and someone said, and the lady said to me, you have to flip it whenever a negative chatter comes in your mind. Yeah. Mentally go, no, I'm flipping it over and I'm turning it into a positive. And that was that was probably 8-9 years ago, and it's still in my mind about if anything negative, I'll almost, it's hard, but I try go, no, stop it.
It's a good attitude to have. Yeah, definitely. I'll try and remember that myself now. Amanda says, flip it. And then the stuff that Fem had said was very, very similar, but a couple of things really jumped out, which I thought, I need to do that or whatever. She was saying that it doesn't matter necessarily whatever tier you're in. No. There is something you can do, and she's right. I know at the beginning we just talked about kind of maybe all the negative aspects to the tiers, but there is always something that we can do. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, that every tier now, for example, the gym is now allowed to open, I believe, even if you're in tier 3. And she did say, even if you can't get to the gym or you can't get to a class, then you could just do something outside instead. So a bit like what you've just said, flipping stuff, thinking, well, what can I do if I can't do that? What can I do instead that might help with my, confidence and motivation?
I think because the whole word lockdown is negative in itself, isn't it? So of course, when you hear that, you automatically assume, well, we can't do anything and it's miserable and dull and everything else. And you can get into that mindset, where you just literally close the door and not bother. So it's
that doesn't help confidence at all, does it? Because when you don't see people, or you sort of put yourself away, which I have done on occasions, then you feel it's harder to then build your confidence back up again, I think. We've got a few comments.
Brilliant.
Morning, Jill, by the way, lovely to see you. Jill says, Judith, call me anytime. How lovely.
Thank you. Nice. I'm feeling the love on Friday.
I know, it's like a Friday love fest, isn't it? Kate, that's so true, Judith. I'm really tough on my own. That's why I love supporting owner-managed businesses. I know how tough it can be, definitely, Kate, and I'm sure they love having you support them as well. Morning, Martina. Lovely to see you. Hi, Judith. Yes, Becky, I've planned a post in for December about focusing on yourself. Oh, great minds. And to an extent, not caring about what anybody else is doing or saying. It can be so counterproductive. It can be.
It can be.
After talking today, I'm going to make a concerted effort not worry about comparing myself to others. Yeah. And Kate said, I've unfollowed some people on socials who made me feel guilty about not doing enough. Good idea.
Wow. That's brave,
it's made
Kate.
such a difference. Oh, that's nice to know.
That is brave. Yeah.
So worth concentrating on your own business and not worrying about other people. Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. You're right. Sometimes we spend that much time worrying about other people and what they're doing when we could actually be using that time to focus on ourselves and our own business. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
So Fem, a great tip. So yeah, even if you can't get to the gym, you could go for a jog or a walk by the canal maybe, or depending on what tier you're in, you could meet up with a friend or a peer or a work colleague or something, and even chat about the situation that you're in, and just getting it off your chest and getting out in the fresh air and stuff. I think often helps.
It helps. Yeah. Yesterday afternoon, just for an hour, I met with a friend and we walked round an area around here named Batsford Arboretum, and literally the sun was just setting. It was going against chilly. She'd bought a flask of hot chocolate with salted caramel Baileys in it, and we sat there on a fence looking out at the deers, and we were like, it was an hour I took out of my day, and I was like, this is perfect. And sometimes you need that reality check in terms of nature and getting back out. And we put the idea to right for an hour. She went in her car, I went back home, and it was lovely.
And it just gave you that boost, I guess.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, lovely. And also the hot chocolate helped.
I'm sure that gave you a boost as well.
A little bit.
I think I need one of those hot chocolates. I'm jealous.
Fem also mentioned, and I think this is a really nice point as well, that she said,
I liked this.
At the end of the day, think about things that had gone well and the positives of your day. For example, like I've just done about yesterday. And again, it realigns your mental thinking in terms of being positive, and I think that's so important.
I think that's a great idea. Again, not groundbreaking, but Fem, I still completely didn't think of it either. And now I'm just thinking, we should be doing that. To give yourself the confidence that show yourself all the things that you have achieved and that you have done. And that could be both personally, and actually, if you are going back into the business, this might be something that you could do with your team. Maybe they're feeling a little bit of a little lack of confidence at the moment and a bit less motivated. So instead of kind of like focusing on some of the negative stuff that's out there, maybe every sort of day you could say, right, this is the positive stuff that happened yesterday. Or has anybody got any positive stuff that they did? Maybe quite a new piece of business came in, or a client that you've not spoken to for a while. Or it might even be that something's opened within the venue or something that hadn't before. So thinking of all those positive things, again, I think helps boost that confidence, doesn't it?
It does, and I think it slides nicely into the business part of this.
Yes.
But
bit of a segue there.
It's quite. I think it's important to get your team together and have that when they're all back in the office, and have that one-to-one, and ensure that they're because they've been away for so many weeks. It might be very difficult for them to understand what they're doing, or what the new rulings are, or whatever. I mean, I know what I'm like. I don't know about you, Becky. I've got 2 weeks on holiday, and I actually don't remember my password. I don't know whether I'm Arthur or Martha.
You should have seen me when I came back from both of my maternity leaves, Amanda. It's like, what's my name? Where do I live? What's this? Is it a computer?
Yeah.
So I know if you are going back into work after being off from lockdown, it could cut yourself some slack as well, because it could take you a while to get back into it and get your confidence back and all that kind of stuff. Really, it's not something that just arrives.
Well, no, and re-engaging with your team and understanding. I have to get up and I've got a point to go. I've got something to do now.
And they might be feeling a bit sort of unconfident because they might not be 100% aware, like we said at the beginning of the session today. They might not be 100% aware of exactly what can and can't be done either. So it's about giving them time and you time to reacquaint yourself almost with what's going on. So with your product knowledge and everything, it's going to be new. So give yourself that time and sort of build it in. So maybe they might even need a bit of retraining. And I know people might think, oh God, we haven't got time for that, we need to get back into it. But I think there is some merit there for just giving yourself that 1 or 2 days to really kind of re-establish and reacquaint and everything.
And it might be that they might need to know, realign themselves in terms of how the system works, or what they can,
how to do the emails,
all of that. All of that, you just don't know, do you? So it's worth having those conversations to start with. And if they are on flexi time, they might be if the teams might be feeling a little bit uncertain about, what is their role within the business? Why are they put on a flexi time or only limited working hours, when the colleague next to them or whoever it may be will be on, it's building their confidence. We talk about our own confidence, but we have to think about our team as well.
No, absolutely. I mean, they're probably feeling exactly the same as you are, with bells on potentially, because you may know a little bit more than they do if you're managing the team. Which I think, we were chatting about this the other day, Amanda, weren't we? I think that's why it's so important, where possible, to be really open and to explain why maybe certain areas are closed and certain areas are open, or certain people maybe working flexi furlough or not, etc. Where possible. Obviously, I appreciate there's some confidentialities as well, but if we can be really open with people, then they're going to feel a lot more confident that they've not been singled out, for example, for any specific reason. It's just because of the business needs rather than anything personal. Amanda Redman. Amanda said, can I join you next time? I presume that she's talking about the Bailey's hot chocolate.
Bailey's hot chocolate, anytime. You're always welcome.
Everyone's going to be going and making a Bailey's hot chocolate now.
Obviously, we have to be mindful of social distancing and our group size and being completely correct, but you're very welcome.
Edwin says, I feel sorry for all the hospitality industry in Birmingham. A lot of them had put offers on in December. I completely agree, Edwin. Lunch with Santa or Christmas meals, and now that's all been cancelled. I agree. It's exactly the same up here in Leeds. With some of my clients, we had put all sorts of things together. I was saying to Amanda earlier, one of them was nearly fully booked for Christmas Day lunch, but it's not even worth them opening those few days because of the stock. If they're allowed, it's not even worth them opening for those few days because of getting the stock in and training up the team and getting everything back up and running. So I absolutely feel for them. Along with printers, marketers that have done the work beforehand. There's so many people had, if you pardon the pun, thought outside the box, like you said, and they'd put lunch with Santa on when they didn't usually have it, and put all that work into it. That must be a bit of a confidence kick.
Completely.
But I do think that obviously I guess we need to now look to 2021 of the things that we can do.
You're doing it.
Do then.
You flipped it. You flipped the negative.
I flipped it.
You flipped
it. See, it's worked already. A couple of the other things before we leave that we were thinking about is that, and I know this is probably obvious if you've got a team, but make sure you've got that open door policy, or so they can share their concerns if they are feeling worried about anything or that kind of thing, or maybe have more regular team meetings so they can discuss the things that are making them feel like that. And obviously just motivating them a little bit more. It's just, I don't know about you, but I'm motivated just by somebody that says a job well done. That cheers me up no end.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't necessarily need kind of like physical items, but you could, give like small prizes and this, that, the other to maybe the person that has, I don't know, come up with the best ideas that week, or something that's not necessarily always about just the revenue. But maybe showed the best attitude that week. I don't know, something along those lines would be a lovely thing to do, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we also mentioned about we have to go back to the business with an open mind. And people will be doing different roles. Or you may be doing a different role. Therefore you've got to have that open mind and look at it in positive, that yes, it's not the same role that you were doing previously, but potentially you could be gaining some additional skills, and so
which could serve you really well in your future career. You never know, or you might find an area that you enjoy doing better.
Absolutely. I've mastered the coffee machine at one of my properties because I was asked to make coffee. So I went, okay, fine, I'll go and try it. So I got I now
you're braver than me.
Barista if I want to now. That's my
that's it. There's no stopping you now. You're braver than me. I have to admit that when it comes operationally in events and hotels, I am dire, absolutely dire. But you just reminded me, actually, I think also just all of us in general, when we're dealing with people, wherever that might be, on the phone, on LinkedIn, or person to person, is just to be a bit more patient and to bear in mind that actually, you know, they might be just trying to get themselves back into the groove, if you like, getting their own mojo back, and they might be extra busy as well, because they might, you know, so don't kind of disturb them with like unimportant issues. And I think that goes for all of us, like including us, you know, when we're dealing with our potential customers or our customers, we need to be mindful about their situation, don't we, and how they might be feeling. Edwin, how can this industry plan ahead with not knowing what can and cannot go ahead? Well, Edwin, it's funny you should say that, because I'm sorry, I'm going to have to take that segue.
Oh, shameless plug.
We have got our biggest, bestest, bumperist challenge coming up. I think it's the 7th to the 11th of December.
That's it.
I'm going to share my screen because I have got it lined up, she says. No, not that. Here we go. We're quite proud actually of what we've called it, even if we do say so ourselves. It's called Game On 2021 Strategy Planning Challenge. Give next year the oomph it deserves. So basically, we are going to talk about those kind of things, Edwin. We're going to look at different scenarios so that you can get a strategy in place, and planning ahead in unknown times, if you look on day 2, is perfect. So it's a 5-day challenge. If anyone's been on any of our Facebook group challenges, you'll know we go live in a Facebook group, and we're going to be doing it an hour every day with a task every day, so it enables you to be accountable. We have amazing support in the group. You're going to get all 4 selling savvy ladies for the price of one, which, you know, what more could you ask for, really? We're going to be on there, and we'll be able to answer any questions or any support that you might need. And as a bonus, there's going to be networking with wine on the Friday night as well. And all of that is only £36 or £32 if you HBAA discount. So Edwin, you need to get on the challenge, basically.
Great stuff.
Are you still there,
I'm still, yeah, and it starts, it starts on the 7th, Monday, for an hour each day. It's not taking a huge amount of time out, but for the total 5 hours or so, the actual amount of content you will receive as a result of it is going to be amazing. It's
I know we're very biased, but it has got oodles of value. I like that word, oodles.
Yeah, oodles, yes.
And if you can't make the time every day, you can obviously catch up in the group, because you'll be able to replay the videos, so you could do that in your own time. But I mean, I know I kind of, again, singing our own praises, but we do get quite a lot of really good feedback from the challenges, just the format of them and the way that they work. And it really makes you do it, because there's so many courses you go on where you think, yeah, I'm going to do that, then you get busy, don't you? And it kind of goes by the by. But the way that the challenges work, you kind of go away, you make yourself do the task, you're accountable, and at the end of it all, you've got a plan there ready to
plan in place
to really give oomph to 2021. So anyway, I'll stop shamelessly plugging that now. But well done, Edwin, because that was, I didn't even prompt you, and that was just perfect. Yeah.
We didn't prompt him or anything, so that was very nice of you, Edwin. Thank you.
Oh, Judith, come on, Edwin. We can still be as game on as possible, even when everything else is game off. I love it. I love it, Judith. I love it. And I think Judith has signed up anyway, so we'll be game on together, Judith.
Oh,
Edwin, I'll be on it for sure. Brilliant. We'd love to see you there. Woohoo! On that note,
we've run over by 2 minutes
as usual.
Sorry.
It is absolutely lovely. I know we can't physically see you, but I feel like I know that you are there as well when people comment.
Nice to have
so them. I hope that no matter what the end of lockdown means to you or brings to you, I hope that there can be some positiveness for everybody out there, and that you know, you can hopefully rebuild some of that confidence. And we are always there at the other end of the line, or social media, or anywhere, to chat to people if you want to.
Yeah, always happy to have a conversation and make you smile. We always like to make people smile, don't we? So,
definitely. Well, that's the industry we're in, isn't it? Yeah, hospitality. That's our job.
That's it.
On that cheesy, corny line, we'll leave you for the week.
Absolutely.
Have a lovely weekend, everybody.
Have a nice weekend. Take care,
Bye,
everybody.
bye.
Bye.